Hi there! Sensei Victoria Whitfield here from victoriawhitfield.com for your weekly love letter. This week's spirit is asked for you to relax! Relax! Specifically, the energy is sending 3 simple steps to relax at work while you are on the job, especially while you are doing things that are not very relaxing. So the thing about work or going to work or working is that it causes us to be externally focused. In an ideal sense, work is your opportunity to love people in this lifetime through contribution. You are contributing energy to an organization, to an idea, to a vision, and in exchange for your time spent there, your time, which is the most valuable thing in the universe, in exchange for your time, you're being compensated in some way, shape, and form, whether it be in a monetary fashion or through bartering or some other form of support to sustain your ability to contribute to that entity, right? It creates this symbiosis relationship between you and the group to realize whatever the vision is that we are all working towards. That's why it's work. So that being said, perceiving work in that way will raise your vibration already in any given environment. So be kind to yourself. If you're in a toxic work environment, it's important for you to manage the way that you feel no matter what, rather than blaming them, my boss, my manager, my clients, or the building or the commute, rather than pointing the finger at things outside of you. Let's see if you can take your power back and assume responsibility for how you feel. Because in spiritual truth, you are always 100% responsible for how you feel in any given moment in time and space. So, take a deep breath in. Exhale. In fact, that was the suggestion number 1 that came through in the energy of 3 ways to relax while you're at work. Is breathe, but with intention. So the vision that I saw in the energy was a mixture of Jinsen Jitsu meditation with numerology and working with angel numbers. Have you ever looked at the clock and it's a repetitive number sequence such as 11:11 or 2:32 p.m. or 5:55 or 12:12? Whenever you see repetitive number sequences or palindromes, especially the ones that look the same, whether you flip the number backwards or forwards, like 2:32, for example, or 11:11. That is a time when you are being called for spiritual awareness, called for spiritual alignment. So there's an increase in energy at that moment when you see repetitive number sequences and palindrome numbers, the numbers that flip. So whenever you see that, the first suggestion in the energy to relax at work is, when you see that, take that as a trigger to do this very quick, very simple breath meditation. And it's scalable according to how many fingers you have. In the study of Jinsen Jitsu, there's a form of meditation that is breathing based on your fingers. So the way that it goes is you hold your thumb and you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then you proceed to the next finger and do it again. Now I encourage you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, because Breathing in through the nose is calming, and breathing out of the mouth, it's auditory calming. You can hear and feel the air coming out of you. You can also imagine that the air is like a black smoke of stress that's coming out, and you're just releasing it out of you so that you can detox your emotional body. Now, depending on how much time you want to take, you can just do that for just your thumb and just your thumb, or just your thumb and just your pointer finger on your hand. But in the full practice of it in Jinsen Jitsu, you're supposed to observe each breath on each finger until you do a total of 10 breaths. Now, I've timed that before, and that takes maybe about between 5 and 8 minutes, because as you continue, you breathe slower, which is really great for your energy. But if you only have a moment, when you see the clock is on 333, for example, okay, it's time for me to do my deep breath. Pausing interrupts the pattern that you may have been in that was of a low vibration, right? And it's good to interrupt your patterns to insert more relaxation and peace throughout the day. So that was the first suggestion that came through in the energy. Second, that Spirit is showing me right now, not only in my feet, because this is how I always work, but I'm seeing feet underneath desks right now. Take your shoes off. If no one can see your feet, what is the point of you wearing shoes all day? Let it go. Have you ever heard of earthing? That's an incredible Google adventure. Check out earthing and learn more about the power of your feet to ground you. So when we're wearing shoes, there is this sense of physical disconnect from the ground. And when we're not physically grounded, then we are not emotionally grounded. Feeling emotionally ungrounded is feeling stressed out, anxious, doubtful, hurried, and unsure. Like there's this instability to your emotions. One way to easily and in the background just have a sense of emotional grounding is to work without shoes on. Don't worry about what your feet look like. If you're shy, you can bring maybe a pillowcase or something to kind of, or a blanket to cover your feet while you're at work. But it's important to get out of your shoes, release your feet from that restriction. There's so many nerve endings in the bottoms of your feet. If you want to know what all of them mean, go check out reflexology on Google. In all those reflexology charts for how much of your body is represented in the soles of your feet and in your toes as well. As you allow them to breathe, your whole body is able to breathe and feel more grounded when at work. Lastly, and this one is especially helpful when you're in interviews or in meetings, or when you're speaking with a client or have to call someone, when we're having this sense of communication and there can be tense moments. Bring love into the room by envisioning there being white or pink light surrounding everybody. Or you can even take this to the next step, they're saying right now, is by seeing angels standing on either side of you and on either side of and healing the people or person that you are talking to. Or even them on the other side of the phone, envisioning them surrounded by white light or an angel watching over them and sending them healing energy. So Spirit is saying that when you do this, you interrupt your emotional pattern and your anxiety about approach anxiety and communication. Sometimes we're just nervous about how things are going to go, or we have an expectation that, let's say our manager or our boss is going to be really annoying, like they were the other million times that we've last seen them. So because of that expectation of anxiety or of annoyance, it lowers your vibration and activates what's called the sympathetic nervous system in your body, which creates a fight or flight response, activates your adrenals, and keeps you like, I have to fight to pay attention, or I have to fight to be heard, or I don't want to be here. I feel like I'm emotionally avoiding this whole situation. Whereas when we fill the room with light intentionally, when we feel the presence of our angels flanking us, protecting us, as well as sending healing energy to all that are present, it activates what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, which relaxes your body. It disarms the crazier side, the sympathetic nervous system. It disarms that. We're feeling safe. We're allowed to feel relaxed, present, and even begin healing in the moment. The more you flood the room with love and the presence of the angels. Okay, so I'm hearing the Oracle cards deck for this week calling to weigh in on how can we, or why can we relax at work. What's the purpose of it? And so this is Doreen Virtue's Life Purpose Oracle cards deck that we're going to ask for advice from. Just a moment. And I wanted to continue Spirit's suggestion of pulling the cards live on camera, just so that you can get used to feeling it for yourself as we're receiving guidance, knowing that we can trust that the highest good is coming forward. So just praying for the angels to let us know exactly what we need to know about why we should relax at work, or how can we. I'm just going to mix it up a little bit and see what comes through. Okay. And it doesn't matter how well you mix it, it's just more when it feels like you're ready to pull a card. Okay? Trust your gut. There's no wrong way of doing this, and it's this card. So the angel card that's coming through is Artist. Engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to your career and every other area of your life. So the reason why the angels are sending us the Artist card when we're talking about relaxing at work is you need to use your creativity for your own emotional benefit while you're at work. All three of the suggestions use your imagination as well as your creative energy. I'm just going to put this down. As well as your creative energy to lift your vibration while you're in the work environment, because how you feel and where your energy is at is what matters most, right? And I'm hearing in the energy to tell you that life doesn't stop when you are at work. You don't stop being someone who is creative or intelligent or loving or spiritual or sensual or playful. You don't stop being that part of you when you're at work. You are still yourself. You need to remember that. Because remembering that in the moment when you're in a corporate environment, remembering that you are a spiritual and divine being, that you are a creative presence and a creator when you're at work is already empowering. Okay? So use your imagination. Bring artistic elements into your work environment, by the way. If you don't have any art on your desk or even on your computer screen that encourages you, if you just have like that default background that came with the computer, change it. Raise the vibration of your environment. You're allowed to. I give you permission. We give you permission. You're allowed to do it. And if you're still nervous about it, you can always ask somebody, hey, do you think I can change the background on this desktop to, maybe a nice forest, because I really love nature, or to a MC Escher painting because it makes me feel inspired, or a Salvador Dali painting because he inspires me. Is it okay if I change it to that? Raise your vibration. You really don't need permission, but we're going to give it to you anyway. Ready? There you go. Okay, so have a wonderful day at work. If you're watching this at work, or tomorrow, make tomorrow the best day at work possible by doing those 3 things, and maybe bringing one more artistic element to tap into your creative side and remind you that you're a spiritual being. Okay? I love you lots. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And I will see you next week. Bye bye.